Hey
Yeah,
everyone, how are you doing today? I am joined by Alif Huq today again. Welcome back. It's been
what's
a long
up?
time. It's been a really long time. So if you've listened to the podcast before, Alif was one of my first people that I interviewed. And at the time, you were doing digital marketing for another company, but you were also kind of getting your YouTube channel going. You were giving career advice. I think you were doing some speaking events locally as well. And I'd love to hear and catch up and see like how's it going?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to give you an update. I feel like lots have changed since we last talked, which was like a while ago. So
Yeah,
lots to update on.
pre-COVID.
It's gonna be good.
Pre-COVID.
Oh my god, pre-COVID. Why does COVID feel like it was like 10 years?
I
You
know.
know what I mean? It just feels like the longest time ever.
It does. It really does. And I feel like that's now like a time marker for everyone like before COVID. Like
Yes.
everyone can understand that now.
Oh my god. I feel
It's
like
so weird.
2020 is like eliminated. Like my mind subconsciously decided to just forget about 2020
I
because it was
know.
just brutal. You know what I mean? So that's like the defense mechanism it's having right now.
It is. It's kind of like I'm gonna be a nerd here, but it's like Avengers when the 5-year blip happened.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
it's kind of I mean, it's really dramatic way to say it, but it kind of feels like we lost a bit of our lives in that time frame. Like everything was different. We didn't make memories in the same way we used to. So
Mhm,
it
mhm.
was just like a really weird period of time that felt like a long time and no time at all, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. It's
Yeah.
exactly like the blip.
Yeah.
Oh god, I you just think about it, I remember those times had my own apartment, I was alone in that apartment, and I couldn't go outside to meet friends, and I'm just like, "Whoa, like, what do I do? Like, this is brutal."
It really was. It was so isolating. Even and I had family members with me, but just the fact that I knew I couldn't go be with other people was just really suffocating, even though I love spending time with and I honestly don't spend a lot of other time with other people still now that I can go out, but just the like, the knowledge that I could if I wanted to. It
Right,
was
I know.
huge.
I remember first a couple days, I was like, "Wait, this is kinda nice, work from home, so, like,
Right.
I'm not distracted, I can get my own things done." 1 week later, I'm like, "I can't do this anymore, where's the people, where" and I'm, like, generally,
Mhm.
like, an extroverted dude who needs a lot of people around him and everything,
Right.
so it was just brutally just, like, draining me. Oh god. But I'm glad we're better now. I feel like one of the good things that came out of it is, besides all the bad, is, like, the remote work and how 9 to 5
Yep.
work life just totally changed, so I feel like, you know, although a lot of horrible things happen, this is one of the things that came out good, you know?
There were definitely positives, and I think even just not even from a work standpoint, but from a life standpoint of really making people actually reflect on what it is that they want, and also taking a look at where they're at and if they were happy with that. Um,
Mhm.
and then it
Mm.
it just really created so many shifts in how we approach, especially like our careers. Um,
Oh, yeah.
it,
Yeah,
I think it's a
exactly.
big difference, and yeah, there was tons of negatives, but there were a few positives in there that I think are gonna really change, like, the next trajectory for all of us for the next
Mhm.
few years at least, which is
Yes.
really fascinating.
Totally, and I remember, before COVID, I was working at this agency, and it took me, like, an hour and a half to go to
That's
work at an
crazy.
agency, and then an hour and a half to come back, and I have, like, maybe an hour to myself, actually, throughout the day, and the rest of the time was spent getting ready for the next day, and it's cycle, and I remember thinking, like, "Is this the be all this is the be all end all. I'm gonna be
Right,
doing this till I'm 65 or this is it?
right.
What a brutal life, oh my god."
It
And now
is.
that we're here and now we work from home and like remote work, you can be your flexible schedule and everything. I'm like, wow. Like when I saw my um like I have friends who are job searching and they would show me job postings and the job posting be like work from office and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I'm not no, I don't even look at that.
Nope. No. And it also says a lot about the company culture too, when they don't even have any kind of option for people to do hybrid anymore. I feel
Hmm.
like especially anything in tech, um, we know that there's a way for it to exist, not that, and when they're blatantly discluding that as an option, they're basically saying, "We don't care."
Exactly, and I feel like it's better for like just over. Like I remember, I was meeting a friend for downtown, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'll work from a cafe while you work at your office. We'll meet up
Yeah.
for lunch, and then I'll go back to a cafe, and then meet you after work, and we'll go home together, right?
Yep.
And I remember doing that, so it almost felt like sort of like a 9 to 5, like commuting to Toronto and then going to like a cafe, working lunch, right? And I realized how distracting it is to actually
It
get
is.
work done, whether it's in the office because there's people coming by saying hi, and then task switching comes in, or like you need to leave your workstation but you get caught in a conversation, or meetings before lunch, and then that ruins your whole flow. And by the time I was in the car or going home, I was thinking to myself like, I don't think I got much done today.
No.
And I was like, wait, this is actually not even productive, this work from office life with the commutes, and
Yeah.
day might be thrown off and everything. Like, it's actually not productive. So
At all. No. And collaboration, I think we've proven collaboration can still happen without people having to be, like, directly in the same room. Is it easier? I would agree, yes. Like, sometimes it is nice to actually be
oh
and,
yeah.
like, feel people's, um, emotional reaction to
Yeah.
things when you're really working on, like, big level, problem solving things, but regular meetings, doing normal tasks, like, all of those things can be done remotely. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's I think even tech in general, like the amount of programs that have come through during COVID to advance the way that we are able to possibly work remotely has just grown exponentially compared to what it was before.
Yeah.
So there's they're continuing to push towards like how can we make this work um,
Hmm.
further and further. And for me, I live in a really rural area, and that opens up so many opportunities for me to find like work in a company that I really enjoy that I never could have even dreamt of before because I would have to
Exactly.
live there. And I have a family.
Exactly.
I can't like uproot my kids, my animals. Like I can't even afford that. Like I couldn't afford to move to
Mm,
a city. I,
mm,
you know, with
100%.
without getting a job. So
Yeah. It almost feels like it was like a bomb waiting to be exploded.
mhm,
You know what I mean? Like, everyone's getting
yeah,
frustrated with, like, like, office 9 to 5 life. There's so many, like, I remember businesses that were like, "Hey, quit your 9 to 5 and start this business, and that's how you escape." "Oh, hey, dude, it's a remote work, and you can work from Mexico if you want to." "Oh, laptop," like, these things were
yep,
really popping off, these podcasts were popping off, this topic
yep,
was popping off, and you can tell, like, people complaining about their jobs and complaining of commutes, like, there had to be an inevitable explosion coming up at some point, and I
yep,
think the COVID stuff really just was it? It was a flame and yeah, boom,
yep,
you know?
yep, and it just like shot us off into like so much more opportunity. It's almost again, it's another one of those like blessings in disguise
Mhm.
because if we hadn't had that, I like the build up to getting to where we needed to be would have been miserable for so many people. Like that gap of I know I want this, but there's the tools that I need to do something like this aren't available or they're not accessible to me. Um and
Mhm.
so it really opened up the ability for almost anyone to be
Yeah,
able to do something like this.
exactly. As long as you have a
Yeah.
laptop and internet, you're good.
You can do
Like,
anything. Like, if you have a
ex
will, you have a way now. Like, that's legitly you are
exactly.
your only barrier basically
There's
to
literally
success.
no excuse now, like,
No, no,
seriously. Yeah,
there's not.
exactly. Oh my gosh. But
So
yeah, future looks bright. I
right?
know, future looks good. Like, I'm excited about the future, you know?
It does. It's still scary, like, I know we're all living in a very, um, I don't know what the word is, like, volatile time, and things still seem very like, "Okay, are we gonna go into a recession?" Like, there's a
Mhm.
lot of unknowns for people, but when you have that kind of power, it it just makes such a difference, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
we can retrain our brains to, like, feel secure again, even though all those are
Totally,
happening.
totally. And then on top of that, if you know how to run a remote business and get clients without needing to rely on an employer, which I'm pretty sure I'm down to talk about more in the podcast,
Yeah,
like, it's like this ultimate liberation that from the system. It
yeah,
just feels surreal to know, like, "Oh, you fired me. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Like I can survive." You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, we'll probably get into that later.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's segue. So let's talk about your transition to that because that's kind of as far as I know, that's kind of where you're at, or you were heading that way at least in the last few months. So you weren't working for the agency anymore. You went all out on your own, and then how's that going?
Yeah. Okay. So last time we talked, I was working for a company. I forget which one. Whatever. I just worked for a company, and on the side, I did career coaching. So I was teaching people
Yeah.
how to do jobs and stuff.
Yep.
Since then, a lots have changed, and feel free to like probe me with like certain questions. So if there's anything that you find interesting, I can go into it.
Yeah.
But since then, I have. Uh, I now do a fully remote, almost like a freelance marketing business that sustains me full time and actually makes me more income than my full time jobs did. So like it's been a big change. I
Yeah.
stopped career coaching because I realized a couple things. I'm not passionate about talking about resumes and LinkedIn optimization. Like it just
Hmm.
got really boring, and I just hated myself for that.
Yep.
The audience, the people I was serving were cool, but then like if you're job seeking, you're kind of desperate, you're anxious. There's a lot of that you have to deal with. So I'm like,
Yep.
that's not for me. But what I did realize from the career coaching business is that I really actually do like marketing. I was more interested in marketing the career coaching business than I was about the actual, hey, let's go on a Zoom call and review your resume and make it better. You know
Right.
what I mean? That was more fascinating to me. And I'm like, at one point, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, just do marketing, but do the
Right.
marketing for career coaches. Like, why not do that?
Right.
And because I was in career coaching, I was connected with a lot of career coaches. So I
Yeah.
just sent some DMs out. I'm like, hey, I'm doing a complete pivot switch. I quit job searching. I want to help you with your marketing. Let me do your email marketing. Let me do your social. Let me do your
Hmm.
podcast for you. And bit by bit, what I realized was people liked, like, I got clients and clients and clients because I realized these people in the job search space, career coaches, they didn't like doing the marketing. But it was funny
Nope.
because I like doing the marketing. So it
Yeah.
complemented really well. And I started
It
landing a lot
does.
of really good like LinkedIn influencer career coach type of people as clients. And I'm like, oh, there's something cool in here.
It's
Um,
genius.
yeah, exactly. So that pivot went well. And eventually I was still working full time at this point, but with clients on the
Hmm.
side. So I'm like, this is really cool. I'm learning business, right? And
Hmm.
eventually my job was like, we have to let you go. And at this point, I've been let go of so many jobs that like like that message you get on Slack. It's like, hey, can we talk? Here's a Zoom link out of nowhere in your midday. Like that stuff like happens so much. I'm like, oh, here goes, and the shock and the sting comes, and I'm like, so I got one of the messages on Slack, boom, and I'm like, oh god, here it goes again. Oh my god. So I open it and it's like, like your manager and the HR person, maybe like a co-founder or
Oh
something, right?
man.
It's a small startup. And I'm like, all right, let's brace for impact. Here's the typical questions I'll ask when they let me go. Blah blah. They're like, we are sorry, but we're going to have to let you go. It's not working out. And I'm like, okay, sure. What can I improve on next time? Like I'm asking these questions because
Yeah.
now it's so standardized to me at this point.
Yep.
And they were like, oh, I'm glad you're asking these questions. Um, but yeah, eventually I got let go enough times, whether it was like COVID or like like
Hmm.
layoff from companies restructuring because of small startup environments.
Yep.
At one point, I'm like, wait, I was making about like 2K, maybe like 1K, 1 to 2K us on the side with
Yeah.
my side business, and then I got let go, and I'm like, wait, if I can make 2,000, why can't I make five? Like, why
Yeah.
can't I make
That
six?
was working part time.
Yeah, so I was like, there has to be something in here.
Yeah.
So I got let go, and that time I had my own apartment, and I
Hmm.
was in a beautiful place. I had to pay rent, and it was like a time where I'm like, okay, I have to pay rent, and now I gotta make my own money. And then add on top of that, uh, I signed up for a coaching program, a mindset coaching
Ah.
program, and it was really good. Like it helped me a lot,
Yeah.
but it was also $15,000, which I didn't have. So I
Ah.
was on a payment plan. So you can imagine I'm in this apartment. I had to pay rent.
Yeah.
I now owe extra $5,000 a month
Oh my
on top
god.
of rent and daily expenses, and I didn't have the money in my account. And the only thing I can do is make money on my own,
Yep.
no job. And
Yep.
I'm like, holy hell! Like
That's a lot.
when I was in that mind, like it's like you'll. It's so interesting because at that point, yes, there was a lot of anxiety. Yes, there was like stress to the max, and like
Hmm.
oh, like wake up with like panic attacks.
Yep.
But what that taught me was like my back's against the wall and I actually have no one to blame but myself and I have to make this like I literally
Yes.
will become homeless if I don't do this.
Right.
So you know how we have like limiting beliefs like oh I don't want to
Yes.
reach out to them because they might think I'm sleazy. Oh you like what if I don't look good in the camera? Like I couldn't think like that because if I think like that, I will go broke. Like I
Right.
literally couldn't. So I'd say fuck this. So I would send out cold DMs feeling salesy. I'm like just do whatever I can,
Yep.
and it was actually the most stressful time in my life. But it was the most growth. Or like I literally became a
Yeah.
different person because a lot of diamonds are made under pressure.
Exactly.
Um, but I
Exactly.
learned a lot about business, sales, marketing, getting clients, and it was like a crash course.
Yep.
By the end, I was able to pay the program off, have money for rent, and I
That's
was secure.
amazing.
And I remember thinking to myself like, "Oh God!" And it was like a brutal 3 months. So that
Yeah,
taught
but
me
you
a lot.
made it. That's so big. It's huge.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank
That's
you.
such an accomplishment just in
Uh,
itself because how many people would have given up,
mhm. Exactly, exactly.
you know?
But I do credit a lot of the mindset coach thing because I would have a
Mhm.
lot of these limiting thoughts like, oh my god, what if I don't make it? What if I give up? What like I would get personally coached through this,
Yeah.
and because of that, my mind evolved into a different way of thinking.
Yes.
And I truly believe the results you have in your life are the way because is due to the way you think.
It's
So I was upgrading
huge.
my thinking, and the results were different
Mhm.
because I upgraded my thinking.
I think that's one like, the biggest difference between people who make it and people who don't, and some of it also, I think, is having, and maybe that goes hand in hand, but having the right people in your life
Yeah.
that are there for you to support you, because if you go it alone, it's definitely a lot harder. If everyone's telling you you're crazy, why would you do that?
Yes.
You need to quit. And if you're in that oh my god zone of like
Hmm.
shit hit the fan, it's definitely a lot harder to keep arguing with them. But if you have the right people, like, nope, it's going to be okay. And then again, this is why I keep trying to make more episodes for the podcast. I want people to know that, like, no, you're going to be okay. You just
Hmm.
have to get through the hard part, and
Exactly.
everything else will follow. Things will get easier. You're building the muscle that
Hmm.
is entrepreneurship. Like, it's a
Exactly.
it takes time, and it takes, yeah, like that force of not necessarily like it doesn't have to be about like survival all the time. It can just be even that uncomfortableness of I don't want to approach people. I'm awkward, and I go through that all the time. I struggle with the marketing big time on my own.
Hmm.
Um, but like that pain, and if I'm able to retrain my brain to say, meh, like I'm gonna do it
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
that's huge. It just
Yes.
to keep moving you forward because then you see results and then your brain isn't in fight or flight anymore. It understands that it's no longer in danger and it won't keep having those meltdowns when you have these stressful problems come up and you're able to
Mhm.
deal with them so much more easily.
Exactly. Like the brain is like a muscle. You just
Yeah.
have to work at it to
Yep.
become better. I realized the biggest thing that hold people back from like getting a business off the ground or just making like something like 2,000 a month or something like
Yeah.
things like that. It is not even like the business or the tactics, but it's actually the mindset. Like eighty
Yep.
percent of the reason why we're not attaining results for some things is purely mindset.
Yep.
And my coach taught me this is like your business is in a direct correlation, a reflection of your mind. So if you're anxious and you're insecure about certain things and you don't want to reach out and you don't want to put your face on a YouTube video, like that's gonna reflect on your business.
Yep.
And and he said to me, I'll never forget that. He's like, work harder on your mind than like your business.
Hmm.
And I almost interpret that more as like work harder on your mind than
Yeah.
your job, than your
Right.
hobbies, than your thing. Because
Right.
at the core of everything, your mind is actually what's more important.
And it really is. And honestly, it's the driving force to every decision you make. And if you're not taking care of it, it will sabotage you at every turn.
Exactly.
Um, and I think
Exactly.
we don't prioritize that enough. We
Hmm.
don't, and same thing with even working for someone else. This is the difference it makes when the culture is good and they're providing space for you to have plenty of time off, they have flexible work, options, it's because they're allowing you to have more brain health, like a better brain
Mhm.
health, and that's really all it is because you can be more productive then and do better work, right?
Exactly.
So,
All the mind.
it's not necessarily like, the perks of the job that they're giving us, it's do they understand, like, that people work better when their brain is healthier? Um,
Exactly. And if they don't give that to you, then maybe it's time to go somewhere else. And then, it's up
yeah,
to you to manage those fears and what that might be like,
yep,
right?
yep,
So, yeah,
and
it's
I
all mindset.
honestly, I don't think there's any getting away from it, like, if you're working for someone else or you're working for yourself, you're still gonna have the issue of convincing your brain that what you're doing is the right thing,
Exactly.
and you still have to take care of it regardless.
Exactly. It all just like roots into the
Mhm.
mind.
Yeah.
That's it. Like if there's
Mhm.
one thing like to give you the best success in life, it's not like how-to videos on YouTube. It's just you mastering your mind. Once you master your mind,
Mhm.
you start to realize like, oh, anything is really possible if I just put my mind to it. And I
Yeah.
don't believe these limiting beliefs that are coming up. And you know what I
Yep.
mean? And I think that's when a coach or someone 20 steps ahead of you really helps. That
It
really helped
does.
me. I
Yep.
just got off a call coaching like workshop with my coach just
Yeah.
before this. And I haven't worked with him in a long time, but hearing his advice from me, I'm like, oh yeah, true. I gotta remember that. Like
Yep.
I'm kind of going through something personal right now, and the mind's coming kind of off. And I asked him a question about like how do I go back to like a fired up, excited mindset
Yeah.
with while going through this, and he said to me, he's like, first, you gotta understand that you don't let things take your mind. Like, don't let things overcome you mind. You control what's on your mind. So if you're letting
Yep.
this overflow you and make you feel crap and like a victim, that's your choice.
Yep.
You have to choose to have a definite disciplined mind, and that's practice. You just have to
Yep.
do it, right?
Yep.
It's a controllable thing.
It
Don't fall
is.
victim to it.
Yep. And it's yeah, it's like a thing you have to exercise just like everything else.
Yeah,
Um, I'm actually trying to teach my son that, but I struggle with it even myself.
yeah,
But it makes such a huge difference in your overall health. If you can master the ability to change what you're thinking about at a drop of a hat, it's night and day to having more happiness, um, being able to live more freely, having better relationships with the people that you want to have relationships with,
yep,
having better business opportunities. It's just huge. And it seems simple when you say it like, oh, you just need to make a better choice or like, don't let things bother you. But it does take a lot of practice,
it does. Yeah,
to just
exactly.
not dwell on things, not become negative. It's too easy to fall into the pit.
Yeah, yeah, I can relate to that. I feel like especially just this week specifically, I feel like I'm on this like tightrope of the pit and then not pit.
Yep.
It's like just holding myself on there in the middle type of thing, right?
Yep.
So I totally get that. Like the pits, like, but it's good to have like friends and support, all that stuff, so
It
you don't fall in the
is.
pit, right?
It is. Or if you do, there's someone there to pull you out. I
Yeah,
think that makes a
totally,
big difference. Um,
exactly,
and
exactly.
and the mindset helps you it gives you the tools to crawl out on your own. I think that's probably what
Mhm,
I've found more than anything. I can't say I don't still have depression, but it was definitely a lot worse. Before I started doing a lot of mindset work and just kind of working through my own issues on my own, not seeing a therapist because I can't afford one, and just kind of reading books and doing some awareness training and stuff. I just feel even though I still fall into those modes, it's not like the dips aren't as deep, and I
mhm.
feel like I can come out of them faster
Nice,
than I
right?
used
It's
to.
almost like your floor becomes your ceiling, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not the dips aren't as low, but they're like less, but the highs
Yep.
are bigger, and then the dips are less and less, but the highs are higher, higher, higher type
Yep.
of thing, right?
Yep.
Mm,
And it does take a lot of time and a lot of practice, and it depends on the circumstances that are surrounding, like, for instance, if you're already struggling with something and then something else goes wrong and it all starts piling up on you, it
mhm.
can become even more difficult. But if you at least keep moving forward. I feel like that's the number one thing I've told myself is like, just do something. Don't be paralyzed anymore. Cause I used to just do nothing. I would just stop and I would not try and move forward. And that could be as simple as like getting out for a walk
Yeah.
or calling a friend or
Ex-
making yourself a nice meal, something.
yeah, yeah. Sounds like a rough time.
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yes. So it but I think that even you reaching out and having a session with your coach again, um, you already took a step, right? You took a step in the right direction to
Hmm.
put yourself in a place of positivity or at least trying. And to me, that sounds like you're
Yeah,
you're
totally.
making good strides, you know?
Exactly. The good thing about that program was there was be community, so we'd call each other sometimes and everything.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes when I was in that mode, I couldn't tell my parents about like the debt I was in because that would just freak them out.
Right.
And my friends were working full time, so it's not like they're gonna understand fully what I'm going
Yeah.
through. And on top of that, I'm in a room by myself. Like I gotta figure this out. So it's just like
Who do I
purely
tell?
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd constantly go for walks and walks and walks and
Mhm.
call these people, and I'm like, thank God I have you guys at least. That
Yes.
was very helpful.
It really does. It makes such a big difference to have at least some kind of community behind
Yeah.
you that you can people who relate. It could even be one person. I have the same problem where, excuse me, I try not to tell my mom anything because she panics.
Mhm.
And so the things that I'm doing as a business owner are too much for her. It's too much for a lot of my family members. And so
Mm,
um I I tried talking to this stuff about them, but it just yeah, they would panic and then it would come back at me and they'd be like checking in on like, "How are things going? Is everything okay?" And then it would make me more panicked. So
really?
now I just kind of find people that have similar backgrounds or like a little bit more relatable that I can connect with and vent to. And I save the wins for my family members instead.
Yeah, and, like, there's nothing wrong with not like, so my dad will ask me, like, "Okay, like, how are you doing?" Like and I know what he's really asking is, like, "Are you making enough money to sustain yourself? Like,
Right.
are you good?" And I just keep it general, like, "Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm roughly gonna make this much, and we're good." And he's
Yep.
like, "Okay, cool. Move on, move on." You
Yep.
know what I mean? Or, like, I don't go into details of, like, "Oh, this guy on a call with me, but he didn't show up, and now I was freaking out, and then all of a sudden this email didn't convert." Like, I'm not gonna do that, right? So
Right.
keep it general. I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, in my
No.
opinion.
No, I don't think so. At least giving them, like, a little bit to know that you're okay, but not giving them, like, the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
exactly.
So, I really like that you talked about, kind of that self-discovery of you realized you were doing something that was close to what you were like, "Wow, I just really like the marketing side of this." But you leaned into the fact that you had already put yourself in the career coach bucket, right?
Yeah,
Like you'd made friends, you were already involved in those communities, so that was a great way for you to start doing some outreach because then they were no longer cold leads.
yeah, exactly.
Um, do you see that as a marketer? Like, do you find that's one of the best ways to do some outreach with people? Is to kind of lean into, for instance, I am involved in a nerd community here locally. But that those people are very disconnected from the work that I do. Should I reach out to them and be like, "Hey, I started a business. This is what I'm doing. Do you know anyone that, would benefit from this?" Is that like a safe bet? Or cuz
Yeah.
it still feels like a cold lead cuz I don't know if any of those people would need my services, but they are a community that supports me. So I get a little
Mhm.
lost in that. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. What kind of business do you do again? Remind me, who do you help and what do you help them achieve?
So I have 2 now. The first one is helping people who need brand strategy and customer discovery, and then I help them build their Squarespace websites.
Wow.
So they're already established business owners that just wanna level up their Squarespace site because
Nice.
it's not hitting right. And then, my other one, going merrily, is focusing on helping business owners have better work-life balance harmony,
Like coaching, right?
essentially. Yeah,
Coaching.
yeah.
Ah, got it. Okay, yeah, for sure. So, so this is what I usually when I coach clients and like how to just get a freelance running business off the ground and all that stuff. I usually and I teach them sales process. I have very
Mhm,
strategic, very like specific like outreach that I do that gets me clients type of thing.
mhm,
And the first step I always say is like you gotta leverage on people you know, even though they may not feel like they're in your niche, right?
yeah,
And the good thing is like the way I went about it is uh if I were you in your position, I would still reach out to these people, right? But I
mhm,
would customize the messaging a little bit,
mm,
so it doesn't feel so sleazy. So this is what I would
yeah,
do. I would probably message them, whether it's on Instagram, let's say,
mhm,
and send them a voice note, so it's not like a message, like
yeah,
cold pitch. And in the message, just say, "Hey, John, I just want to let you know that I'm starting a Squarespace business, and I'm helping small business owners create Squarespace websites. And I was wondering if you happen to know anyone who would need help with this Squarespace website. No pressure at all if you don't know anyone.
mhm.
But yeah, I would really appreciate the help. Thank you so much." Right? And
It's
at
so simple.
first, it's actually it's so. I literally did this and I was like, okay, and boom, boom, clack, 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 and I'm like, whoa.
It's
Because again,
crazy.
the mindset, right? It's sleazy to reach out.
Yes,
So once I got over the mindset, boom, the income just went up, right?
it's crazy.
And what's interesting is when I did this, I was like, "Oh, God, they're gonna think I'm sleazy. They're gonna think I'm pitching them." And
Mhm.
in fact, I got messages back being like, "Oh my God, it's so nice to hear your voice. Congrats on this business thing. Let me know if I can help. I don't know anyone, but if there's anything else I can do, let me know."
That's
I'm like, "Are you
nice.
kidding me? Like all these thoughts I had is so wrong."
Yeah,
So that's the first way to get clients. The second is after that when you run out of contacts to really reach out to. I can
yeah,
walk through that, but if I were you, that's probably the first step that I would do.
cool. No, that's amazing, and I think so this kind of shines light on, again, that mindset thing, right? Of because you totally read my mind. Like, that's where I'm at. It feels sleazy to have to outreach to people, but honestly, I just wanna help people. I'm not doing it because I want money. That's not obviously, that's the
Yeah.
trade, right? Because I have bills to pay just like everybody else does, but, um, I just wanna help people, and is that really am I being that bothersome because I wanna connect with people to do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all mindset, right? It's me having that argument with myself.
And it's like a money mindset too, right? Like
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with asking for money in exchange for delivering. Like you're not
No.
doing anything wrong, right? You're not really scamming them. You're not
No.
like you're doing nothing wrong. It's just guilt around like taking money. Like
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like even
it
if you're like,
is,
hey, it's $1,000 for this website. I can't afford it. Sorry, that's cool. No worries.
right?
I'll refer you to someone else. Like
Yep.
there's nothing wrong. But then our
No.
mind goes like, oh my god, money. It's not about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all mindset.
It really
Everything we
is.
talk about today is gonna be mindset.
All mindset. It is 100%. And I don't know if, like, I I've tried to work on that side of things. I guess I have a lot more work to do. I thought I was
All
doing
good.
better than I was,
No,
I
no,
guess.
you're
But
doing great.
I come from we were pretty poor growing
Yeah.
up, and I was very aware that we were poor. So I think, and I'm an
Mm,
empathetic person, so I
mm.
think everyone's in that same boat. And when I have to ask them to pay me, it feels like I'm draining their bank account and like being like a villain, like
Yeah,
twirling my mustache, like give me all of your money.
exactly. And
But that's not
yeah,
true. I'm just trying to help them.
that's really it, right? And
Yeah.
man, there's so much to this that I learned. What helped me get through this is I had a sales coach too teach me about this, and
Yeah.
he taught me the value in being stern about what you offer and telling the price very sternly, which makes them feel like, oh, this person's confident, he knows it. Clearly, he's
Mhm.
worth this much money, so let me go with them, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be on a call and like, okay, so this package is $2,500. How does it sound to you? And just go silent and just like
Yeah.
look at them, and like getting in the habit of doing that while on a Zoom call with someone, uh, like with the guilt feeling coming in after doing it for a while, I'm like, you know what? I am worth this
You
much,
are worth
and
that
if you're
much.
not, you can't pay me. That's okay. Like
Yeah.
that's okay. Like just go somewhere cheaper, right?
To be honest, so I've actually had to practice this in the last week, and I had the same scenario with my business coach a couple days ago. He was like, "Just be yourself," because I was really struggling. I would like. a week or 2 ago, I was in survival mode, like, panicking, like, I don't have any clients. This is the last month before I have no income left to pay my
You're full time.
bills. Yeah, yep, and I'm also the only income earner in my house. My husband stays home with the baby, so yeah, it's, like, all on me.
Whoa, whoa.
It's a
Okay,
lot.
okay, okay.
And so, and on top of that, I also I have like a third business. So I'm a third owner in a co-working space, which is where I'm at right now. So not only would I be letting me, my family down, I'd be letting my business partners down if I have to go get a full-time job doing something else, right? So that's a lot of pressure.
And you're taking care of a kid too, and
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I was full panic and like you could feel it in my marketing, like the things that I was putting out, the outreach I was trying to do just reflected a lot of that just like desperation. Um and I I just kept like venting to him. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, let's just kind of work through this and see where we get. And I had this switch all of a sudden. We were talking about like building a marketing campaign and how I would approach people. And he's like, well, what feels good to you? And I was like, well, I hate text. I hate typing to people. I like this interaction, like doing podcasts, video, that kind of thing. It's like, just do a bunch of videos on your website. Why can't you do that? Like, why do you have to do copy? Why does it have to look like what everyone else has? And it just totally like it was like a switch. I was like, "It doesn't. I can really just be myself and do what works for me." And from that moment on, like, I've had 4 interactions with client opportunities,
nice.
and I gave them the price that I need to charge in order for me to make a living income, and I now understand what that number is, like, straight to the penny.
Can I ask what it is? If you're
So
comfortable with it.
it's like a it's like a formula. So my business coach has this spreadsheet and you enter in like a couple of different things and it'll spit out a number for you based on like
Got it.
how much you need to make per month, the amount of hours per week you want to work, and then what does your process look like and how many hours does it take you with each
Yeah,
client, and it
yeah.
tells you. So like for a 7-page website, I think it's like $3,300 or $3,500, something like that. Which is a pretty big build. Um,
Yeah.
and so I have pitched. I just said, I have this way that I calculate my numbers now, and this is the amount it's going to cost. And I actually don't even like, I tell people I'm a little expensive. I'm a sole income earner. I
Yeah.
have to charge more than normal people do because I'm accounting for two people's incomes. And also, I've done a lot of education. So I've got like student loans or, like credit card debt that I've
Mm,
paid for all this education with. And so my prices are a little higher and this is what it is. And I think every single person has at least, if not said yes, was what much more interested than the people that I've talked to in like the past few weeks, right? Like where it was just not
mm,
even it was just a no or whatever.
mm. So
Or
she
wasn't
yeah.
even having the proper conversation with them at all, even. You know what I mean?
Nice. Okay, so it seems like when you explained your situation, they understood you more. So you were in a way being yourself, right?
Yeah. And that helped me feel better. Like just being honest with people helps me feel more myself and like I'm not being salesy. And
Mm,
so that was the way that my mindset could be fixed, I guess, for myself. That was how I overcame the barrier. Uh,
mhm. Amazing.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's
That's good.
really fascinating that that little difference made me go from having no clients to now I'm like maxed out for the next month
That's amazing. Wow.
in like a week.
Wow, it's funny because like the more yourself you are, the more you attract. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
It's so
is that
true.
kind of crazy?
It really is. But it's mindset because it's the confidence you have as yourself. Like if you have
Yeah,
confidence in who you are, it comes across and people just want to work with people.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like they just need to know, like beyond like, are you able to do the work? It's like, do I like you? And
Exactly.
you show that through the videos, through the Zoom calls, through the content. Like, the
Mhm.
more you can be, the better. I've had
Yeah.
clients literally reach out to me because they're like, "Oh, you made a YouTube video about gratitude, and I liked how you explained it. You seem fun. Let's work together."
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not even I didn't even make up how to do marketing one none of that. It's just like talking about something I like, and then all of a sudden someone came
Yeah,
through the door. Like
yeah.
it's just be yourself.
Just be yourself. And I think just putting out good into the world, period, even if it's not directly related, but if it's just kind of similar to like the vibe that you want to, for the people you want to work with, you will just find those people. You're just going to connect with them inherently.
100%. And this is one thing my coach told me is like you have to have an abundant mindset in these moments, right? Like
Yeah.
know that there are clients out there that are actually willing and dying to work with you,
Yeah.
and don't get into the fear of, oh, there's not enough clients and I'm gonna run out of rent by this time.
Yep.
Um, and that took a while to like actually. It's one thing to hear it, but one thing to embody it.
It really
That
is.
took a while.
Yep.
But it's so important to have like because I realized like with my coach, what he was really teaching me was like um, what you the energy you put out into the world will get
Mhm.
reciprocated back. So if you're constantly scarcity, anxiety, you're penny
Exactly.
pinching, you're gonna get that back. But
Exactly.
if you're grateful for little things, I remember I bought fries, small fries, and I'm like, oh my! I actually almost like weirdly teared up because I'm like, I'm so grateful I have the money to buy a small fry,
Yeah.
and this was in the midst of my gratitude work. And I'm like, wow, like if I'm putting this energy out, I'm sure it'll be reciprocated back.
Yeah.
And it's funny how it got reciprocated back, whether it's like through speaking gigs or clients or whatever, right?
Anything. Yeah. Exactly. It really makes a big difference. Somebody else was talking the other day in one of the groups I follow, about it's actually a or like I don't know, physiological response in your brain. If you're in survival mode and you're like in that panic moment of like, oh my God, I need clients and just trying to like do the like hunt and gatherer type mode, um, versus if you're in executor mode, which is where all your creative thinking happens.
Mm,
It like you can't have one or the other. And so if you're not in executive mode, your brain is not going to be able to do the things that are required for you to be in business or like doing the work that
yeah.
you need to do. And so that was a big one for me too is like, okay, I can't live here. I do design. I can't be in survival mode then. Or this is
Oh,
why
100%.
I don't
100%.
have the energy to like when people are saying like I don't have what it takes to create today. That's really what they're saying is
Mm,
that their brain is stuck in survival mode for some reason. There's some stress being applied that's putting them into that fight or flight and they don't have the creative energy to explore and do the work that they need to
100%.
do.
Exactly. And balancing that tightrope of like scarcity to abundant and or like creative, whatever it may be,
Mhm.
it's like the constant battle for
It
people who work for
really
themselves,
is.
right?
It
That's what it
really
is.
is, 'cause you're always gonna have that mindset, like, the thing in the back of your head, like, "Okay, I have work right now, but what about next month? What
Exactly.
about the month after that?"
Exactly.
Um, and I think that the ability to just keep moving forward and having, like, a little bit of hope that things are gonna work out. I mean, this is why people kind of say business owners are a little bit crazy, and I think it's this ability that we just stare fear in the face and be like, "Yeah, not today," and just keep moving
That's
forward.
what it is.
It
Yeah.
really is. It's huge.
And it helped. I remember listening to the podcast because I was like at some point like all these like Elon Musks and people of the world, like, are they just fearless? Like, why? How do you do stuff like this,
Yeah,
right? And it was this podcast, and it was like, it's not that they're fearless; it's just they dance with the fear a
they
little
do.
differently. They
They
feel
do.
the fear, but the way they navigate it is very differently. I have
Mhm.
this one YouTuber I follow a lot, and really admire the guy. And he's like in his videos, I feel fear. In fact, I actually probably feel it more than you guys. And I'm like, oh, that's so true. So it's not about like everyone feels it. It's just
Yeah.
how you navigate it is what
Yes.
differentiates you, and it's so
It's
hard.
you become friends with the fear instead of being
Mm,
enemies. Like, a lot of us think
mm,
that it's a bad thing. And instead, fear is actually a tool because it steers you in the right direction, especially as a business owner. Like a lot of the things that we're afraid of are actually steering us towards things that are good. Because, for instance, if you're afraid to do an outreach with a person, what's behind that?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Success, usually.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
But yeah, yeah.
but it's all mindset, right? It's so
And
tough.
then it's like it's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to like actually embody it. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like, I'm
It's
hearing right now,
practice.
fear is a friend, and the first thing I'm in my head is like, "That makes so much sense." But then once I get off this call and then
Oh, yeah.
someone, like, freaks me out, I'm like, "Okay, I feel fear. Is
Yep.
it still my friend or not?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. And every single time that you make a better choice, it's just gonna make it easier, but there's still gonna be times where it's like you'd make the wrong choice and you're like,
Yeah,
"Not today."
and it won't ever stop, so,
No,
like, we are crazy in a way.
we are a little bit crazy, like, you almost have to be just a little bit crazy. So yeah, I think that this is just a struggle that we always have to go with, but yeah, I always wondered, like, what is it that makes people different? And I think it's, like, that little bit of crazy that allows you to like, just
I
do it.
Yeah, I don't even think it's crazy, like, cause I feel like that
No,
makes it otherworldly. Cause I remember
it's not.
after I just like I said, I came from a workshop from my coach. I
Mhm.
was talking my friend was in that too, so we were WhatsApping each other, and he told me like, "Wow, it's so crazy how our coach became so successful from his mindset. I remember when we first started these calls, it was 5 of us, now there's 60, and now he's doing millions and all this stuff, right?" And I realized, like, making him seem otherworldly wasn't actually serving. He's the same as us. It's just that he pushes 10% harder through
Exactly.
these hard moments. That's it, right?
That's it.
He just does harder things.
Mhm. And I think that the only reason I call it crazy is because it's a very small amount of people that are able to achieve it. When you look at like the general population of the world, there's not a lot of people that are willing to do that. But I think it's increasing because this is what COVID did, right? Where people
Mm,
were like, is it really better that I sit here and be miserable and end my life regretting every step of the way versus just being uncomfortable and asking people if, "Hey, can I do this service for you, or do you know anyone that could do it?" Right? Like, what's the trade-off? What's worse? And like you
yeah,
said, I'm either gonna be homeless or I just ask people if I can help them.
that's it. Like, what's more?
What's really worse?
But you know what I think the trap is? Comfort zones.
It
Like,
is.
it's so easy to comfort in a job that's well paying and you're like secure and like, and then
Mhm.
ditching that comfort zone for like that
Yeah.
friction. Like, it's easy to go from low point
Yeah.
to like higher, like making a jump to that entrepreneur when you're so low. But I
Yep.
feel like it's harder to go from a midpoint where you're comfortable to taking that jump and becoming a business owner.
It is
You know
because
what I mean?
yeah, it's like the frog in boiling water. Like, it's he's like, this is fine," and then he's dead.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
um, but if you yeah, if you have no other choice, what are you gonna do? I think that that really does make a difference, and I've been talking to my husband about this of, like, you can't have one foot on the shore and one foot on the boat and make it to the other side. Like, you have to get in the boat 100% if you want what's, like, on the horizon, what's on the other side, like, the treasure that you've been searching for.
Mm,
You can't have comfort and achieve, like, this beautiful gift of freedom. Really, to me,
totally,
that's what entrepreneurship is just freedom.
totally. That's it, and entrepreneurship requires a different thinking than an employee, and getting used to
Yeah.
the entrepreneurship thinking is like when I was working a job, I was like, cool. I just wake up 5 minutes before my thing, do all these tasks,
Yeah.
and then I go hang out with some friends, go to a bar and club, and then just repeat it. Life's good, easy, right?
Yep.
Entrepreneurship is beyond. I didn't have to worry about like sales, but also like I didn't have to worry about what people thought of me. Like,
Yep.
and now that I'm full time in this, like when I go to a networking an event with friends, someone asks me, "Oh, what do you do?" And then they're like, I'm like, "I'm a business owner," and therefore I'm thinking like, "Oh, they think I'm a bad business owner because I'm probably not making money because most businesses fail or everything." Right? Like,
Right.
you're dealing with so many more demons, and you have to literally
Yeah.
everything is your fault. So it's another level of ownership.
It
So
is.
like it requires a different mind in itself.
It really
And
does.
I feel like entrepreneurship is more of like a self-development machine than
It
it really
is.
is as business, you know?
It really is. And yeah, that's 100%. So a lot of us get into entrepreneurship, and we forget that we need to start rewriting our brains to stop thinking like employees and start thinking like business owners. And I think that's why so many businesses fail, is because we don't do the work to work on the mindset to think like a business owner.
Yeah.
um, and
Yeah.
when you do that, that's where you separate a little bit of yourself from like the business in a way, I think. Because yes, you will, like, you have certain things you have to uphold because yes, it's always all on you, but it's not personal. Like
Mhm.
that there's a difference there. Like people who are successful in business don't give a shit what people think about them. Like it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
they are able to just push past that because again, they've worked those muscles to say like that's not a fear I have. Like what it's not gonna hurt me. I don't care.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, like, I remember so I'm South Asian, right? And, you're
Mhm.
either a doctor, lawyer, engineer when like, that's a
Yeah.
typical thing, right? And when I meet, family friends for the first time, usually
Yeah.
the conversation is, "Okay, do you study? Oh, no, okay, so what do you do for work?" And really what they're trying to I feel, and I might be wrong with this, I feel like they're, like, leveling you, like, they're trying to
Yes.
see, are you, like, a
Are
waste
you
of
successful?
like,
Yep.
yeah, like, are you and, at that point, like, I stopped caring, trying to prove myself in those conversations. Like, oh, I do marketing, and I do this, and like, I'm like, yeah, I just do digital marketing, and that's it. Like, I don't
Just leave
need
it at
to
that.
prove myself. Like, I don't
You really
care.
don't. Nope.
Like, you know what I mean? And it took time to finally get to this. Like,
Mhm.
okay, who cares?
Yeah.
Nothing. Who cares?
And I still like I can easily say that, but it takes so much time to
Yeah.
like work through. um I can't even articulate what I do to a majority of the people that I know in a way that they understand because I live in a really rural area and tech is very obscure to them. They don't
Mm.
that when I say I make websites, they can't even imagine what that looks like. It's like, are you a coder? I'm like, no. No.
Right. Right. Right.
But also they don't care. And that's kind of where I've landed is like I don't need to waste time feeling bad or like trying to explain it to people. I just kind of say like, yeah, I make websites and then they're like, "Oh, cool." And then we move on. And like that's all it
That's it.
really has to be.
That's it.
Yeah.
Even like during sales calls, like
Yeah.
before, I was like, I charge this much, but then like you get this, and you have to, and I'm like
You don't have
justifying,
to
and
sell
then they
it.
can feel the desperation, and like,
Yes.
okay, let me double think it. But when I'm like, my rate's this, how does it sound to you? And I just like, it is what, you know what I mean? They're like, okay,
Yeah.
cool,
Yep.
and because they feel like the confidence, self
Yeah.
confidence, like I
You're
don't
going to
need to
deliver.
justify.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
have to justify it. You're going to deliver what they want because you understand them and you've told them like this is what it costs. I can do that for you and they're like, "Okay." It's really
that's
that simple.
and the only thing stopping us is ourselves,
It
right?
really
It's
is.
it's so simple, but then
I
we make
know.
it so complicated.
We
It's
really do.
ridiculous.
It's interesting being a human.
Do you know Chris Do?
I do.
Yeah,
Yes.
you would, right?
I love Christo.
Nice. So I'm part of not his pro group, but like, yeah, I get recordings of his
Okay.
videos from the pro group stuff, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was watching one of his videos, like how to make 100K,
Yep.
how to road to 100K, whatever.
Yep.
And he remember in the call, he's like, um, I wish you guys were all mindless robots that would just purely just do what I say. Because if you just are mindless robots, you will make $100,000 in the
Yeah.
business. Like just be mindless. I
Yeah.
wish you guys were that. And there's so much truth to that because he
Mhm.
literally gives us step by step. It's just we get it in our own ways,
Yeah.
right? Like
We alter the plans, we avoid them, everything. Like whatever we can do to not follow his specific guidelines that literally are blueprints to six figures. Um
exactly,
and
exactly.
it's not even about the money. It's like what is your will to do this? And I think if you've watched him long enough, you kind of see his struggle. Like, did you just get the recent email about the the next one that he's doing? It's free and it's all mindset. Like he's literally like, I've given you. He's like fed up. He's like, I've given you every single thing you need. And it's not even the clients that are saying no to you anymore. It's you that are getting in your way. And so now he's just doing a straight mindset call. I think it's coming up next week or the week after. I signed up for it too because I think it's always great
Nice.
to have that.
I think I
So
saw
if
the
you
email.
haven't, you
I think I
should
saw the email.
You should check it out.
Oh my god, his mindset stuff is killer, right? Like,
It is.
just the
But you
guy.
still have to do the work. That's what people forget. It doesn't matter how much you pay coaches to coach you. It doesn't matter the material you watch on YouTube. You have to do the work. And like, okay, so we do have to wrap because we're running up on the time here. One last tip, if you could give it to anyone on how they can change the way they're looking at things and kind of do what you've done at this point.
Yeah. So like, if you want to have a pot, so certain things I've built a habit of that actually really changed how I see life and made me wake up generally feeling excited for the future.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sound so basic, and you probably heard them, but it's just, again, that it's simple. Just do it. Don't get in your own way when I say these things. Okay.
Yeah.
First is, you gotta exercise.
Yep.
Like when you something about working out, getting the habit of it, you feel good. You're happier. You feel good. You're able to focus better.
Hmm.
People feel your energy better. You attract more people in your life. Exercise. I know
Yep.
you hate that answer. Okay. Second is, you're gonna hate this one too. Eat healthy. Like, I remember I was like walking around, and this construction guy next to me, and he was a little like bigger and everything, but you can tell every step he took, like, and then he'd sit down to like cut the wires on. He's like, oh my god, and like, you just feel the weight on this guy. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my, I'm getting like this like secondhand like heaviness just being next to you. Now imagine like what your customers are gonna feel, what your friends are gonna feel when you're around them. Would they even want to hang out with you? Right? Like,
Right.
you're probably gonna wake up and you're like, oh, another day. Blah. Like, right?
Even without that part of it, still the mindset that you bring when you take care of yourself, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's point two. Point three and four are, first, this has been a game changer for me, and I realized the importance of it. It sounds simple, but do it for 30 days, and you will literally see life differently. It's simple. Don't get in your own way. Write 10 things you're grateful for every day. Small things like your light, your bedroom, the air you breathe, life. You had a great call. After this, you're gonna go on my gratitude journal. I had a great call with Ashley, right?
Yep.
And for some reason, little things you become so grateful for. Like, I gave the fries
Mhm.
example. Just getting a
Yeah.
small fry, I'm like, this is the best day of my life. Like, that's how it felt. Like,
I
this
mean,
is the
fries are great, to be fair.
that too, yeah, yeah. But if fries make me feel like that,
Mhm.
imagine what like a deep conversation with someone I care and love about, how that would
Yeah.
make me feel,
Yeah.
right? Like, wow.
Yep.
And the last thing is affirmations, actually. So I wake up in the morning, I listen to some affirmations just to get the thinking process right, because I feel like in the morning your mind is the most malleable, and if you go on Twitter and see trigger
Yeah.
things that trigger you left and right, you're setting up your mind for failure.
Yep.
So affirmations have been really helpful. So those four habits, honestly, after doing that, I'm like, I wish like everyone needs to do this. Like, everyone needs to do this. It's so simple and basic, but damn, it makes a difference.
It's a recipe for success. Right
Exactly.
there,
It's
straight from
nothing
Alif.
crazy.
No, no, it's not. And that's the thing, though. It's not difficult. No, that's not right. It's not complicated, but it can be difficult because
Yeah.
we get in our own way. So all of it's just practice. And if you can't do it perfect right away, that's okay. But if you at least work towards that plan of like, maybe you start with 5 things in your journal for that day, work your way up to 10 and be okay because that's still a win, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh
Um,
my God. My coach said, she's. So I complain. I'm like, I'm not making enough sales, and I'm not hitting this. But then he's like, okay, well, how many prospects did you talk to? Oh, I talked to this many. Oh, like, how many emails did you send? Oh, this many. And he's like, listen, your wins aren't on a different levels. Like, making
right.
10,000 a month is the same win as having a great conversation with a friend.
Yep.
They're all in this. Everything is a win. Start seeing your life like this, and it
Yes,
will change everything.
it really
I'm like, oh
does.
my god, it does. And I just,
Yeah. And that's where the gratitude journal comes in too. Because
exactly.
you are putting more emphasis and you're bringing about the endorphins that you need to see life in a better light, and you're providing your brain with evidence that you were successful that day. And a lot of the times we'll go to bed feeling like, wow, I didn't get much accomplished today, but when we do those journal entries, it makes a huge difference. It
Oh,
really
totally.
does.
It's like you're rewiring. You're literally doing
Hmm.
surgery on your neurons of your brain.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, the most
And
important.
nighttime and morning time are huge for that. Like those are the two times when your brain is, like you said, most malleable. And so
Exactly.
take advantage of it. Yeah.
Just do it. I guess the moral of this podcast is don't get in your own way.
Don't get in your own way.
Don't get in your own way.
I love
Exactly.
it. Well, thanks so much, Lee, for joining me. It was wonderful catching up, and I can't wait to see what maybe let's not try another 2 years. I feel like COVID kind of just affected everything. Maybe a year from now we can check in again and
Let's
see
do
where
it.
things are
I'm
at.
excited to see your success too and everything. See
Yeah.
excited to see how your kid grows and everything. Like it's gonna be fun. Another great podcast coming up.
It's going to be great. I'm super excited. So awesome.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys for listening in. And we will see you next time. Grow tall and spread love, my friends.
Peace, peace, peace. Bye.
Bye.